Hi folks, this recording is for 7th grade Orange Team parents and students. Just going to show you how to find a couple helpful things as you navigate core learning, virtual learning, hybrid, all this year as it's kind of a little crazy. I'm hoping this will help you. So if you're first off wondering what is my student's grade, okay, well what you can do is you can go to the school district website, cdschools.org. Up at the top, there will be this little button that looks like a house. That is the Home Access Center. You want to click on that. If you scroll down, you can sign in with a username and password. You can do this right with your students, or you can register for Hack if you're a parent. Okay, you can click Register for Hack and it will get you set up. But you put your username and password in, and then mine will look very different than yours, so I don't want to log in right now and pull mine up because it would be more confusing than helpful. But once you log in, there will be a couple options across the top of the screen. One of them says Classes. You're going to want to click on that, and then you'll see all the classes that your student has, and then underneath it will actually have listed the work that the teachers have put in the gradebook. And you'll be able to see how many points it was worth, how many points the student earned. Okay. A lot of times, if it's in there as an NHI, that means not handed in. E, if it says E, that means they're excused, so maybe they had a medical absence or something else going on. Or a lot of times if it's in as just a 0, that usually indicates that it wasn't turned in either. Okay, so you're going to want that hack. Okay, you're going to want this right here, this home button. And your students do know how to use this. If they have a username and password through the district, which they should, they'll be able to get on. Same username and password they use for every other website and app that they use here at school. Second thing I want to show you is I want to show you how to get to Canvas. Okay, so if you click on the Students tab on the CD School website, this is all the different applications and websites they might use through the school district. If they scroll down, they can click on this one called Canvas. Okay, now here's what our middle school we are using Canvas, so they would just basically use their username and password, same one they use for Hack and everything else, and they would put it in and hit sign in, and then it would pop up and have all their different classes listed. Okay, so for example, they might click on World History. Okay, and they might open up the World History class. Now, over here on the left-hand side, I'm going to do it student view so it actually looks like what it would for your student. A lot of times they have a to-do list and some assignments up here, but that may not be all their assignments. So if they're only doing the ones that pop up here, that means they're only doing the assignments that the teacher actually created through Canvas. And if it was created in a different website or app, then it's not going to pop up here. So if they just do this checklist, then they're not going to be getting all the work that they need to do. What you're going to want to look for is either the modules button right here, or a lot of teachers will have modules right down here. So if you click on the big blue button, or on the left if you click on modules, then it will pop up. And a lot of teachers, some look similar to mine, some look a little different, but a lot of teachers will have a spot for notes and links where they post videos of lessons, where they post notes for students, where they have different websites that can take you to different places to study. And then a lot of teachers will have things that are assignments, okay? Or it might say like must do or must complete. But spend some time with your student clicking on all the different links just to see where it takes you and explore each teacher's Canvas. Unfortunately, as a district, we don't have one uniformed setup, so each teacher's might look a little different, so you might have to spend a few minutes with your student clicking on each thing just to see where it takes you. Okay? Let me think here. Okay. I remember what I was going to show you. One last thing. A lot of people are asking me about, hey, how do I find the schedule my kid's supposed to be on? And then how do I find the different Zoom links and live lessons and that kind of thing. So first off, when you look at the schedule that your student was mailed home or that they have with them, or if you log into that Hack, the schedule will be on there as well. You'll see on there whether they are in Group A or Group B, okay, for hybrid. And by now you probably know which days of the week they're supposed to show up to school. This is for hybrid students. Core, we'll talk about in a second. But basically, I sent home each week, every Friday, I'm going to send home announcements. And it will come as the form of a link, but if you click on the link and then click present, it will look like a slideshow presentation like this on Google Slides, and you can view it. And a couple helpful things, if you click on the weekly announcements tab here, this is kind of the home page. We'll get back to this in a second. If you click on this, Up here at the very top will always be the core and hybrid schedules in case you're a little confused. So if you click on the core and hybrid schedules, I'm going to do my best to explain it. Hybrid group A, that's typically last names A through K, unless the district or the school has notified you otherwise. Those students are coming on Monday and Tuesday. So when they're in school, don't worry about their schedule. When they're here, we'll help them find where they need to be. But when they're at home, okay, so let's say that they're in hybrid group B, so that's L through Z, unless the district has told them otherwise. Those students would follow this schedule when they're home, okay? So life science first. Real quick, these acronyms, ESL stands for English as a Second Language, LS stands for Learning Support. If second period, if you look at your child's schedule and their teachers and they don't have ESL or Learning Support, ignore this then, okay? That's not going to be in the schedule. It's not a class they have to go through. That will be kind of a free period for them to catch up on work. Then when it comes 10:08 to 10:51, they've got their academic literature class that they need to log on to the Zoom or the live lesson. 10:54 to 11:37. If they have pre-algebra, they'll log on. But if pre-algebra is not on their schedule, they don't have to log on. 11:40 to 12:10 is kind of their lunch or a free period if they need it. World history, that's my class. That is 12:13 to 12:56. Again, here we have an ESL English or Learning Support English. If they're not in the ESL program, if they're not in the Learning Support program, don't worry about that. That's a free period then. And then at 1:45 to 2:30 is Math Grade 7, okay? And if they're in Math Grade 7 Learning Support, okay? That's when they would log in. Now, this is for days when they're home, if they're a hybrid student. On Friday, this is everybody, okay? Friday, this is everybody for hybrid students. They're going to go to life science first. Remember, if they're not in ESL or Learning Support, they can ignore this. Only if they're in ESL or Learning Support are they going to go to those teachers' live lessons. Third period, they'll have English, grade 7 at that time. Creative arts, these will be on Fridays. Okay, so these are if your student has tech ed, if they have music, if they have art, if they have business. Okay, that's where they're headed. Pre-algebra, again, if they don't have pre-algebra, they don't have to worry about this. Health is also on Fridays that they'll be logging on, so they'll log into their health class. And then world history, this period, again, if they don't have ESL English or Learning Support English, they can ignore this. If they do, they have to go. And then finally, Math Grade 7, or if you're Learning Support Math Grade 7, okay, this is when you go on Fridays. Now, our core students, most of us have figured this out by now, but if you're still struggling with the schedule, it's the same thing for you all. As you go down through here, okay, these are the classes you're going to, unless you look at your schedule and you're saying, oh, well, I'm not in ESL program, or I'm not in Read 180, or I'm not in the Learning Support class, then you can ignore it. Only look at the classes that you're actually in on your schedule. If you have academic literacy, which everybody does, awesome, second period, okay, unless you are in one of these classes. Then you go to science, creative arts, you'll check in at these times, okay. Again, I can't stress enough, same thing for Friday. Check your student schedule. If they're not in a class, they can ignore it. Okay, if it's not on their regular schedule, they can ignore it. But if it's on the regular schedule and it's on this schedule, they have to go. Okay. Now you might be saying, well, how do I find these Zoom links? How do I find the live lesson if it's on Canvas? Well, every Friday, I'm going to be emailing home this announcement slide. Okay. When you click on it and press present, it'll pop up and look like this. It's got all of the teachers' names that your student might have. Now, folks, these are all the 7th grade teachers. Okay, all the 7th grade teachers. Check your student's schedule. They're not going to have all these teachers. I wish we could have gone through and made an individual slide for every student so it was a little easier to understand. But unfortunately, there's a couple hundred students in 7th grade, and there's just not enough hours in the day for us to make a slideshow for each individual student. So what we need you parents to help your students with is go through their schedule. If they don't have some of these teachers, then ignore those names. You don't have to click on them. Only click on the ones that they have, okay? So, for example, everybody's going to have Mr. Hildebrand. Everybody's definitely going to have Miss Bryant, okay? So I'll just click on mine as an example. If you click on the teacher name, it will take you to their slide. On their slide, there will often be a reminder about when core students log in, when hybrid students log in. There'll be Zoom links and passwords. There'll be links to Canvas pages. Okay, there will be upcoming assignments and stuff like that. Now, what you'll do then is once you're done reviewing that, you'll click back to the main page. You can then click on the next teacher on the schedule to find all that information out about that teacher. And they don't have to just have one of these characters, one of these Bitmojis for you to click on their names. Okay, so let's say you have pre-algebra, you'd have Mr. Rieskinger. You can click on that. Okay, maybe you're in ESL reading or English, you might have Ms. Mahmood. Okay, you click on her name. Maybe on Fridays when you need to go to Health and PE, you click on the Health and PE one. Okay, and you can always click on it. Okay, and there'll be other links to other slides or information. But if you ever want to go back to the main slide, you can always click this button up here. There's also down here a little computer where you can click for help desk information. If you're having issues with passwords and technology, you can email. If you click on that, it has the email for the help desk, the tech people here at the district. And then if you're ever just wondering about upcoming events or you need those hybrid schedules again or course schedules again, this is the weekly announcements page. Okay, like for example, this week we had back to school night, so there was a link here, and then there's a password to come back to school night. And so I'm hoping this is helpful. If you still have questions, feel free to email me. If you click on my email or my slide, my name, there's my email. It's also on the school website. You'll also be getting weekly emails from me sending you these slides because they do change. The information changes every week. So if you have any questions at all, please email me. I hope this is helpful. Sorry for rambling for almost 12 minutes. If you need me, let me know. Have a good day.